Hey guys, Zenith Darksky here with another Metalhead Reacts, and this time we're listening to something a little closer to home for me, as something a little bit more that I'm used to. So I didn't do any reaction videos to the new Linkin Park album because I listened to the Linkin Park album on my own time and I enjoyed it. Real quick mini review, mini thoughts on it. Um, I understand why they went with the new singer. She does kind of give very early Chester Bennington vibes vocally. And I guess maybe they were worried that if they went with a male singer, everyone's theory is that if they would have went with a male singer, it would have felt like not that should be important, but it would have felt like there's competition there with Chester, and obviously you can't. I love Emily as a singer. She's great as a singer. Does she compete with Chester? Not in my book. Chester Bennington was one of the greatest rock vocalists, vocalists in general, in fucking forever. Excuse my language. But anyways, but I did enjoy the album. I had my favorite songs on there, and I had some songs I just didn't really vibe with, which is weird because most Linkin Park albums I vibe with every song. I like every song for even skits and like weird recording like things. As I usually love them all, but yeah, with this album I had some favorites and I had some not so favorites. But so this is their new single, Up From the Bottom, and from what I heard, from what I understand, um, they they even said themselves that it didn't feel like a complete record. It didn't feel like a complete Linkin Park record, and they were working on some songs that kind of felt like they were missing from that. And I can agree, the album was very short. I mean, I know some Linkin Park albums were pretty short, but I know some were kind of longer. So yeah. Anyways, let's get into this. I haven't heard this new single yet. Saved it for this because I knew I was gonna get back into some reaction videos. But yeah, let's go right into it. Woo! So immediate Linkin Park vibes with that intro. Mm. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so real quick, so I'm liking the vibe of the song. It sounds Linkin Park, and so did the whole album. I do want to hit on this really quickly because I noticed it feels like with the new Linkin Park album, it feels like, and I've seen people use the term Linkin Park light, or it almost feels like a Linkin Park cover band or tribute band. Like, it feels like they've taken the formula of what makes your average, I'm not gonna say good, I'm not gonna say great, but average Linkin Park song, and they're just doing that over and over. Um, like I've seen, unfortunately, I've seen some TikTok people and YouTube people kind of parodying it. It seems like it's an easy sound to mimic nowadays. You've got some generally hip hop or generally electronic feel to like ambient sounds and stuff in the background, some occasional record scratches or this or that, ambient noises and stuff. And then You get kind of clean vocal intros sometimes. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get the dun, 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 the kind of hard rock kind of intro, and then kind of bust down to a very percussive or percussion mixed with vocal kind of verse, and then builds up to kind of a bridge, and then you get kind of a hard rock chorus, and then the other version of Linkin Park is the opposite. So you might get kind of a hard rock chorus or verse, and kind of more of a metal feel to the verse, and then the chorus comes and it slows down. It feels very, very formulaic, very, very plug and play of Linkin Park. And no doubt that's because of Mike. Mike, I love Mike Shinoda. I love him as a rapper. I think he's very underrated as a rapper, and I wish he'd do more rap. But either way, he knows what it takes to make a Linkin Park song. However, there is a bit of originality that has disappeared with that, I think. And maybe that's what they were going with this first album. Let's play it safe. Let's do Linkin Park. Let's do what people know as Linkin Park. Let's not try to innovate. Let's not try to reinvent the wheel. I don't know. It just feels very plug and play, very cloney almost. And I'm not trying to insult it because I still like it. I'd still go see them live, and I'm sure I'd rock out and love it. It's just, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys understand what I'm saying and if you kind of feel the same. Again, it's not bad music. It's just, I feel like it's formulaic, I guess is the best word. I feel like they know something that works for Linkin Park, and they're just doing it over. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of bands that do a similar thing to that, like Breaking Benjamin. I love Breaking Benjamin, but they don't completely reinvent the wheel every time. They kind of do a lot of Breaking Benjamin. It might have some kind of adventurous songs on there as well. But I don't know. This whole new vibe with Linkin Park feels very just. Maybe that was the idea. Maybe they were kind of going with, let's just do what we know will work, play it safe, and maybe that's what they went for. I'm not sure. I know Mike Shinoda does check out some reaction videos and stuff sometimes. Maybe he could hit up in the comments, or maybe I could even do like an interview with him one day, to just get a better understanding of why some of the vibes feel like that. But either way, let's get into it. It's still good music, and I still like it. All right, let's get into it. Mm. 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 There we go with the kind of generic kind of hip hop turntable mix. Mm. Cool. Cool. I like it. It's not bad. Also, I will say I respect and appreciate what they did with her vocals when editing and mixing her vocals. You can tell they kind of added a reverb, kind of layered vocal sound that we got with Chester Bennington a lot. And that does very good at kind of bringing us a Linkin Park feel. Um, Again, feels kind of plug and play. Um, and it almost feels like vocally she's just trying to do, and it might not be her fault, I don't know, but it feels like she's just trying to do Chester Bennington. Um, and I hate to say that, and I hate to bring his name into it at all, because do you know how hard it is? Do you know how probably hard it is to do that? You know, to come up from the bottom, from zero, like their album name, to build again from that place of zero, especially with someone so iconic vocally. And I really do. I'm almost about to get teary eyed. I really, really try to um, see it from that perspective. But as a fan, as someone who likes the music, as someone who listens to the music often, and I'm not one of those fans that's like, oh, they were best in Hybrid Theory and Meteor. I love all their stuff, dude. I love Minutes to Midnight. I love A Thousand Suns, the whole conceptual feel of A Thousand Suns. I love the harder thing that they tried to do with Hunting Party, and I love the pop feel of One More Light. I love it all, dude. I love Linkin Park. I love everything they've ever done. So whoever thinks I'm being hypercritical or whatever, I'm sorry that it's coming off that way. I love everything they've ever done, and I'm not trying to say I'm better than some fans, but it does irk me when people are like, "Oh, I didn't like their poppy stuff, or I didn't like their hard stuff, or I didn't like this, or their conceptual." I loved it all, dude. I saw what they were trying to do with it all, and I'm not trying to say I'm better than anyone, but just as a fan, I saw what they're trying to do with it all, and I liked it. And this album and these new songs and what they're doing with the vocals and a lot of the editing on the new music, it almost feels too polished and too much like Linkin. Um, and here's the thing: they would have gotten some hate, and maybe even from me, if they would have tried to reinvent the wheel completely. If they would have tried to do a whole new thing, probably would have gotten some hate for it. I think they're just doing what they like. I think they're just doing what they know sells, what they know does good, and playing it safe. And at the end of the day, I think they're just doing what they enjoy, and that's great. It just feels maybe bringing in a different producer, because Mike produces stuff and he does a lot of the work on it. And don't get me wrong, he knows what works for Linkin Park. He is, for the most part nowadays, him and Brad and everybody, they are Linkin Park. They know it works. But it just feels like maybe if they, and I don't know who helped produce the new album altogether, maybe if they brought in like Rick Rubin or some other big name producer um to help them. You know what I'd love to see, and what I think would fit Linkin Park great? Bring in Trent Reznor and Atticus, um, for that. 9 Inch Nails, basically. Bring them in to help produce maybe the next album. Give it more of an industrial metal feel, that would remind people enough of Meteora and Hybrid Theory, Hunting Party, and give them that hard feel, but then let Mike come in and do his thing too, and give it kind of a, we know this works and this will sell because it's a poppier kind of feel. Do that. I think that would be a great, great idea for the band. And I'd love to see that. Or do something conceptual again. The great thing about Linkin Park is I don't think they were ever worried about selling records. I mean, they were, because their studio probably pushed them to. And Mike has aired his, they've all aired their griefs about what record labels try to push and everything. But I think they just need to bring in some kind of new ears to the production or something. I don't know. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. But I like it. I love what they do. And it's just, I think they need to change it up in some way without changing too much. I don't know. I like the song, though. Tell me what you guys think down below in the comments. I know it rambled on a little bit there at the end. Woo, trying to get the hiccups, trying to stop myself from getting the hiccups. Tell me what you guys think down below in the comments. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And let me know if you do. Yeah, I've never been one to be afraid of a little criticism. Bring it in there. You know, don't insult anyone in the comments if someone disagrees with you or anything. But just, you know, what do you think? Let this be a thread. You know, of what do we think of the new Linkin Park stuff, and you know, I don't know, from a fan's perspective. Either way, if you like the video or like the reaction, be sure to hit that like button. Like I said, suggestions or opinions, anything in the comments, please share it around to your friends and family so that they, and with some of the Linkin Park, the LP Underground fans, you know, anything like that, get them all in here. Be sure to hit that sub button. 90% of you guys probably watching this are not subscribed, so please do hit that sub button. I'd appreciate it very, very much. And yeah, love you guys. I will see you in the next video.